Good afternoon, everyone. I am about to have to read something to you because I tried to post it on Facebook and it came out all jumbled. I tried reformatting it, you name it. I did everything and it just wouldn't work. So I said, well, I'll just make a video and read it. This is about, I would love to say that I was the one that compiled this information, but I wasn't. So I'm going to give credit to where credit's due. God forbid I get accused of plagiarism like Melania. Anywho, supposed author of this or researcher of this, his name is Jeff Head. Don't know if that's his real name or not, but that's what comes up when I found it, because somebody had posted me this information on Facebook about 2 or 3 months ago, and I never delete anything on Facebook unless it's like negative. Well, not even that. I mean, if people disagree with me, I save those because I like to read their reasons and all that. But anyway, couldn't find it. So here we go. The following is a list of number of persons who have died in suspicious circumstances who had connection to the Clintons or the Clintons' dealings. The length and breadth of this list is disconcerting. It is beyond credibility that very many of these cases are coincidences. Forward any errors or inconsistencies, as the list has been compiled from multiple sources. Excuse me. First, it'll be the name, the date of the cause of death, and then the explanation. Okay. Ron Brown. He was Secretary of Bill Clinton's Secretary of Commerce. Commerce Secretary, and this was in 4 of 96, and it was a plane crash. Commerce Secretary near indictment, who allegedly threatened with not going down alone, U.S. said, really, computer, now you're going to go out on me? No black box was on the government plane, though Croatian and French TV showed teams pulling one out. Air Force, for the first time ever in American history, canceled the safety investigation of a U.S. government crash on friendly soil. Interesting. The next day, Ron Brown's lawyer was murdered in a drive-by shooting the day after the plane crash. 34 passengers on the plane with Brown were also killed. A stewardess was rescued several hours after the crash alive. She died en route, however, to the hospital from blood loss due to a cut femoral artery sustained in the crash. Like, I think that means that she got her throat slashed. That was at 4 of 96. In 1996... Admiral Border, Chief of Naval Operations, hold on. Okay, sorry for the delay. All right, so we covered that the girl's throat was possibly slashed. Okay, all right. The Chief Naval Operations for Clinton, Bill Clinton, supposedly committed suicide. Allegedly shot himself in the chest with handgun, distraught with questions regarding his medals that he had won a year earlier. He was a combat veteran from Vietnam and received combat ribbons from some activities while there. Others were reclassified later to combat, after which he began wearing these as well. When questions regarding the latter ribbons arose, he simply said he would not wear the ones in question if there was going to be a big deal made of it. The combat veteran and our highest-ranking naval officer, responsible for a couple of 100,000 servicemen, always capable officer and soldier, now a year after settling the issue, he shoots himself over it? Really? Others believe that he was eliminated because he refused to transport Chinese, Eurasian, and other forces on U.S. Navy transports to U.S. and Canadian shores for semi-permanent, ongoing, quote-unquote, training. Bill Shelton, 694, suicide. Allegedly shot himself at gravesite of fiancée Kathy Ferguson, who died the month before, also from suicide. Shelton was an Arkansas state trooper who had vocally been proclaiming that his fiancée had not committed suicide, allegedly shot himself behind the left ear. Kathy Ferguson, 5 of 94. She was an ex of Arkansas trooper Danny Ferguson, engaged to trooper Bill Shelton. Danny Ferguson allegedly escorted Paula Jones to Clinton's hotel room, and Kathy was vocal about her knowledge in the case and was to be cooperating witness for Paula Jones in her sexual harassment case against Bill Clinton. Allegedly shot herself behind her left ear. Attorney for Dan Lassiter, this was 594, suicide. Allegedly jumped out of a building to kill himself. He represented Dan Lassiter, a close friend of Bill Clinton, who was indicted on drug charges and sent to prison. Ronald Rogers, 3 of 94, plane crash. Arkansas dentist for the Clintons killed on way to interview with a London Sunday Telegraph report to reveal information. Herschel Friday, 394, plane crash. Clinton attorney and fundraiser. The plane blew up. Ed Wiley, 1193, suicide. Allegedly shot himself in head in Virginia. Real estate attorney and manager of Clinton's presidential campaign finance committee. Luther Parks, 993, murdered. Head of Clinton's security team in Little Rock, gunned down in his car outside of Little Rock. Home broken into before his death. Dossier on Clinton taken. Stanley Hurd, 9 of 93, plane crash. Chair of Chiropractic Healthcare Advisory Commission for Clinton, who had treated Clinton's mother, stepfather, and brother, killed when an airplane crashed after reporting fire on board. Steve Dixon, 9 of 93, plane crash. Counsel to Mr. Hurd, killed in the same crash. John Walker, there's no date as to when, but it was an accident. RTC investigator who fell from balcony of apartment that was also a getaway for Vince Foster. Vince Foster committed suicide on 7 of 93. Allegedly shot in Fort Marcy Park. Bullet not found. Gun used stayed in hand. Initial witness said there was no gun. Close friends of Clinton's alleged possible affair with Hillary involved in Inslaw's CIA computer cover-up tracked Clinton's finances. Many irregularities in death and its investigation. He was the White House counsel. Paul Wiltshire, murdered. Washington attorney investigating federal corruption, including MENA and BATF assault on Branch Davidian. Shortly before death, gave Janet Reno with a 99-page affidavit. Planned TV documentary. Found dead on toilet before meeting with Danny Calasaro's attorney. John Wilson, suicide, 5 of 93. Allegedly hung himself, reportedly part of Whitewater, and was ready to talk. Sergeant B. Haney, Sergeant Tim Sabell, Major William Barkley, and Captain Scott Reynolds. All four died in crash in the woods near Quantico, Virginia. All had escorted Clinton on flight to the Roosevelt. Videotape made by firemen at crash site seized by the federal government. 5 aviators, 3 of 93, plane crash. All 5 died in a plane crash waved off from landing on the carrier Roosevelt. All 5 had escorted Clinton during his visit to the Roosevelt several weeks earlier. General Robertson, Colonel Dinsberger, Colonel Kelly, and Specialist Rogers. Deputy Commander, Chief of Ops, Chief of Intel, and Crew Chief for V-Corps, which was prominent in Bosnia Serb operation along with the carrier Roosevelt. They were associated with the Clintons' visit to the Roosevelt. The Hilo crash was near West Baden, Germany. Steve Willis, Robin Williams, Conway LeBeau, Todd McKeon, 2 of 93, Waco assault. Killed in assault on Davidian compound. All transferred from the Secret Service, where they were Clinton's guards, to BATF prior to the assault. Killed by friendly fire. Jim Wilhite, skiing accident, 12 of 92. Vice Chair of I guess it's Arkansas Inc., which ties to Clinton and McClarty, whom he called just hours before his death. Paula Grover, 1292, car accident. Speech interpreter for deaf for Bill Clinton, killed in car accident with no witnesses. Traveled extensively with Clintons from 1978 until his death. Paul Tooley, 9 and 92, murdered. Democratic National Committee director found dead in hotel. Dear friend of Clinton and trusted advisor. Authored key strategies for Clinton and the Democratic Party. Victor Razor, 7 and 92, plane crash. Chair of Mobile Telecom, whose subsidiary is SkyTel. A finance co-chair in Clinton organization who soured. His plane went down in Alaska on a fishing expedition. Monty Razor, 792, plane crash. Victor Razor's son killed in the same plane crash. 5 passengers, 792 plane crash, killed while flying with Razor on fishing expedition. James Bunch, suicide. Suicide similar to Vince Foster, Texan with black book of influential Texans and Arkansans who visited prostitutes. A rumor persists of potential notes on Bill Clinton. Stanley Huggins, murdered. Partner in Memphis law firm investigation Madison Guarantee. His 300-page report has never been released. Florence Martin, murdered. Account subcontracted to CIA in the Barry Seal case. Dead of 3 gunshot wounds to the head. Sue Coleman, suicide. Had affair with Bill Clinton while Attorney General. Suicide with gunshot wound to the back of her head. No autopsy, and she was pregnant. Suicide, 891. Reporter investigating Whitewater, MENA, BCCI, and ADFA about to receive info linking Iran-Contra to the Inslaw scandal when found in bathtub with wrists slit. Murdered from 1988-1989. Kevin Connie, Gregory Collins, Keith McCaskill, Jeff Rhodes, Richard Winters, Jordan Kettleson. 6 Arkansas people who came forward with info about the deaths of 2 teens near the MENA operations, all killed before testifying, stabbed, shotgunned, or burned. Local detective John Brown reportedly solved the case and gave findings to FBI, which sat on them, according to Brown. We now know who killed these kids. The reason this case has been stopped, it is because it tracks to Bill Clinton being involved in the cover-up. Okay. Kevin Ives, 887, murdered. 2 Bryant, Arkansas teens who saw too much of the MENA, M-E-N-A, airdrops found on train tracks. Initial report said they fell asleep and was made by a state coroner appointed by Bill Clinton. Parent protested, and after months had the boys exhumed and re-examined. Cause of death then changed to murder, the boys having been stabbed and skulls crushed before the train arrived. Officials in the administration who have died in the first 4 years of Bill Clinton taking the White House. Secretary of Commerce, Deputy White House Counsel, Chief Naval Operations. Of these 89 deaths, the causes break down as follows. 59 deaths, plane crashes. Incidents, 12. Murders, 13. Incidents, 13. Suicides, 10. Incidents, 10. 4, Waco assault, 1 incident. Accidents, 3 deaths. If you work with the Clintons and deal with any of his scandals, or if you attempt to investigate them or accidentally come across them, you will likely die in a plane crash, a murder, or suicide. Other deaths that can be led laid at the Clinton administration's feet or are very suspicious include and amount to a reign of death and terror. 80 plus near Waco in the assault on the Branch Davidian compound. 170 plus in Oklahoma City where technical and eyewitnesses do not match government story of bomb. 1,100 plus in Chicago and surrounding area from a supposed 2-day heat wave. 120 in Value jet crash where Chuck Hayes, a CIA operative with info on Foster, was supposed to fly. 270 plus TWA crash, eyewitnesses account, including National Guard pilot, don't match federal government story. With the 90 above, the total is over 130 individuals. The Value jet and the TWA disasters are ominous when you consider the other plane crashes that have killed Clinton associates, potential threats, or enemies. Who was on that TWA aircraft? So if you want to vote for Hillary, I'm just saying, these are facts. You can look them up. So, something to think about. Again, do me a favor and share this with your Democratic or liberal friends that are supporting this woman. If they'll even watch it or listen to it, because they'll think it's all made up. But it's out there to be found. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Oh, and one last thing. I love this. This is my favorite part. Trump. Make America great again. Vote for Trump. Bye-bye.